Kiss 98.5, Janet Snyder and Nicholas Pickles. There is only one person in Buffalo, New York that's up at this time that will do an interview on this show.
I can't believe he's not lifting right now. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Beard. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Hey.
How's it going?
Do you know how many interview requests we had to put in just to get you on this show? Do you have any idea?
This is the first I was ever told of it, so I think this is one, maybe.
No,
right?
It's been about 22, Ryan, but it's okay. We've been wearing our Fitzmagic T-shirts, keeping the faith since the beginning of September, and here you are on the show. Welcome back to Kiss 98.5.
Yeah, it's good to be back on the show.
So you're up early. Is this the time you're always starting your day, so everybody that's waking up this time can be like, I am just like the Buffalo Bills quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Yeah, usually I roll in between 6 and 6:30. And get the day started.
What's your routine? Do you stop in for a little drive-through coffee?
I do. It depends on the day, but on Wednesday, Thursday, I stop at Dunkin' Donuts. Friday, Kyle Williams picks it up, but unfortunately, he's not here anymore with the whole IR thing, so my routine has changed. So I'm a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday guy now.
Now, I would imagine they're going to put somebody in place of Kyle Williams to kind of fill that gap. Why don't you just have that person do the standing coffee run?
You can't trust him.
Yeah.
It took me 3 years to trust Kyle. You know, so that's just a relationship that you really can't just throw somebody into it.
It is all about relationships in football.
It is, absolutely. Getting ready to go to Miami, better than playing in the freezing cold, huh?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. That's always a trip where, you know, it's a good division game, but you know for the most part the weather's going to be nice, and it's always a change, especially this time of year from Buffalo.
How do you feel about those 3 games in December being played at the Ralph?
Oh, we're excited for them, and you know the last 2 weeks we've had letdowns, unfortunately, but we're looking to get back on the right track and win this game in Miami. And you know, we're really going to need those home games in December to make our playoff push, and that's really what we're looking forward to.
You know, they have been talking a lot about the relationship between you and Chan Gailey. Can you talk a little bit about that, how you two click?
I think we work well together. A lot of it, I think, is just we have a good understanding for each other, a good feel for each other, just from what we went through last year and, you know, being able to game plan and do the things we have this year. But he's a guy that's obviously been around and coached a lot of good quarterbacks and a lot of good teams. And when you have somebody like that that's respected in the locker room and that knows what he's talking about, it makes it easy to play for him.
Now, does he ever use those sayings that you're kind of like, what did he just say? And you're trying to figure it out?
I think it's an episode of Dukes of Hazzard. It's actually very meaningful football talk.
He does have a few. I think Buddy Nix has more than anybody, where you'll just hear a saying and be like, you just kind of let it go at this point. But,
right.
They definitely have a few sayings between the two of them that you don't really understand sometimes.
You just kind of shake your head like, yeah, I get you. You know, even though you went to Harvard, you're still like, yeah, I got it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
When you signed your contract, what was that day like for you?
That was really cool. I brought my family to the stadium when I signed, and that was a funny story in itself, just because we got 3 kids, a 4-year-old boy, 2-year-old boy, and then a 8-month-old daughter, and the boys were fighting the whole time, and you know, it's a serious moment, and I'm signing my contract, and Brady clocked me in the face, and you know, it was funny, but I wouldn't have had it any other way with them being there.
Right. And did they understand what it all meant? I mean, at 4.
Well, you know what? I don't know. Brady still wants to play on the Bengals every time we play football together, so I don't think he really understands that much. But his favorite color is orange right now, so that's where he is.
Totally. And they got a big kitty cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. I totally get that. A lot of people talk about the fact that you play with your wedding ring on, which isn't usually the norm with quarterbacks. Thoughts on that?
I didn't take it off. I think it was 2 years ago for a practice, and the only reason I had taken off before that is because I thought it would bother me, but didn't even notice it when I didn't take it off. And I thought, what the heck? Why would I take it off if it doesn't bother me at all? And I mean, it's just something that I like to do. I don't. It's not something I'm throwing in anybody else's face. It's just something that I like to do because it's a gesture to my wife.
Quarterback from the Buffalo Bills, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Obviously, you went to Harvard. We know that you physically keep tuned up. How do you keep mentally tuned for the game? Do you read a lot? Do you do a lot of research? Like, how do you keep the old noodle sharp?
Well, I wake up and get Dunkin' Donuts in the morning, and it involves a lot of film work, just studying the opponent and what they've done in previous weeks, and then on top of that, just kind of the game plan that we have going in, and making sure that I know that, not necessarily just how to call a play, but why we're calling the plays, and really getting that expressed to our guys so that they can be in the right spot at the right time.
And then beyond what you're doing to get ready for the football game, how do you because sometimes you got to break away from it. Everybody's got to break away from their job a little bit. What do you do to get your mind off the game?
Yeah, it's hard sometimes during the season because you're so consumed in, playing the game, and then whether it's a win or a loss, all of a sudden you're so consumed in the next game. But, for me, the thing that really helps me out during the season is just being able to hang out with my kids and my wife. Last night after practice, my son Brady had hockey practice at the Y. So, we went to hockey practice and got to see him run around for a little bit and trip and fall and score a couple goals and do all that stuff. So just being with them really is my way of getting away from it a little bit during the season.
So do you have any Thanksgiving traditions? Because Thanksgiving's next week. You'll have a little time to sit at the table and enjoy.
It is. You know what?
Uh-huh.
This year my birthday is on Thanksgiving.
Wow. Happy birthday in advance.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
Thank you.
All right. So you're going to have birthday cake and turkey.
Yeah. So, sometimes I get the birthday cake on Thanksgiving. But my wife always cooks up a huge feast, and it's awesome. We've got all kinds of different meals or, foods from my family and from her family that have kind of been combined. But we'll have some family out for Thanksgiving and just eat all day.
Yeah, just eat all day and watch football all day. Now, we have a little thing in the studio because Nick is a canned
I like my
sauce.
cranberry jelly in can form, and I like to put it on the plate so that you can see the can marks.
I personally make it homemade. Your thoughts, Ryan Fitzpatrick of the Buffalo Bills?
I am the wrong person to ask about cranberries because that is the one thing that is on the Thanksgiving dinner table that I cannot stand.
Really? Even if it's canned?
It's not American.
No, I don't. We always had it canned, which is the slices. But
Don't say like
that's
that's
awesome.
good. That's disgusting.
Now I know what makes you good.
Uh-huh.
Okay, good.
Okay. So you stay away from the canned cranberry sauce.
Yeah, I do.
All right, fair enough. So now I know what you want for your birthday. That would be 1W from Miami.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
How you feeling about the game? Of course, everybody's like trying to deal with the injuries, I'm sure, at One Bills Drive. How do you deal with that, bringing new people in and bringing them up to speed?
Well, that's just part of the game. It's part of the NFL life. Guys are going to get hurt, and you've got to have the next guy step up. And it's not like college where sometimes you'll throw somebody in that maybe isn't ready or isn't a good player. The NFL, we're all professionals, and you're expected to go out there and do your job, regardless of whether you started the season on the field or not. And that's what we have to go do. And everybody deals with injuries. And a lot of the time, the success of your team is based upon how you deal with those injuries and how you overcome those obstacles. So we're looking forward to get out there on the field, maybe with some new faces, and see how they perform.
How does it feel to have people pick apart every minute little move you make on the field where you're like, hey, man, I'm just trying to win a game, but they are really like every move you make, every decision is looked at from 100 different angles. How does that feel in your head?
You know what? I mean, the praise, the criticism, I hear it a little bit, but it's not like I'm listening to talk radio and reading every newspaper. So consumed in all the game planning and all that stuff, that's really where my focus is. And then I go home and, you hear it a little bit from your neighbors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When it's a good game, they'll say hi. When it's a bad game, sometimes they'll roll their windows up and, try to cry.
Oh, no.
But,
Ryan,
you know what? That's just part of it. That's just part of it as a quarterback, and, you learn to deal with it and move on.
Okay, fair enough. As we get ready for the Bills game on Sunday and then the games that are coming back home in December, what do you want to say to the 12th man?
We need you. I mean, we've had some great success at home this year, and those last 3 games for us, especially, being in Buffalo, being a place where people don't want to come and play, it's huge. It's huge for us, and we'd love to have the fans come out and be noisy for those games because it really has helped us this year.
All right, we'll get after it on Sunday in Miami. And then after you win, how are you going to feel about coming back on Kiss 98.5? I'm a superstitious kind of person. How about you?
Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a weekly radio show.
That's what I'm saying, Ryan, because here's the thing. I mean, you got to do what you got to do for the win, right? I mean, we've been wearing our Fitzmagic shirts.
Yeah, you know what? I've got a good idea. Just call the PR people, and maybe the 22nd time you call this time, they'll let me know, and then
we can only hope.
We can get it on again.
Seriously, let's hope so. Ryan Fitzpatrick of the Buffalo Bills. Have a great game on Sunday. We'll be cheering you on.
All right, thank you.